कैलासोन्नत द्वादशान्त श्यामला पीठारूढ श्री मीनाक्षी सुन्दरेश्वराभिन्न स्वरूप परशिव पुत्ररत्नकुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यमान लब्ध दिव्य ज्ञान विश्रुत सकल दिगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवर्तक श्रीमन् परमशिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान दीयमान छत्र चामर श्री चिन्नकाहलादि समस्त विरदावल्यरन्दित ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संग सत्योजात निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्ग जीभूत परमतकल भेद केशरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु श्रवण शाक्यादि महातकार निर्वाण ज्ञानवानु वीक्षणानर्हार्ह वचोच्छेदन पूर्वक ऋषभध्वजस्थापक शैव समय कर्तृ सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्यवाचक स्वामिना अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ महासंस्थान ज्ञान साम्राज्य शासक सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ तृणवत्युत्तर वशततम गुरु महासन्निधान महानिर्वाणि पीठस्य अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर अटल पीठस्य अष्टोत्तर सहस्रतम श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर श्रीमन् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रचित नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ जगद्गुरु भगवान श्री श्री परमहंस नित्यानंद श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामी परात् 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 स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्यवाचक स्वामिना अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ महासंस्थान ज्ञान साम्राज्य शासक सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ तृणवत्युत्तर वशततम गुरु महासन्निधान महानिर्वाणि पीठस्य अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर अटल पीठस्य अष्टोत्तर सहस्रतम श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर श्रीमन् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रचित नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ जगद्गुरु भगवान श्री श्री परमहंस
Nithyananda. Today is the second day of the grand festival of the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam. This festival revives our cosmic roots through the sacred Guru Parampara inviting us to actively awaken our inner spiritual sovereignty and become the living embodiment of Kailasa. Before the main grand celebrations of the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam begin, the guardian deities of the temple are traditionally worshipped. Their supreme blessings and protection are sought for the absolute success, safety, and spiritual fruition of the upcoming events. Today, the entire pantheon of guardian deities of our temple ecosystems are honored and worshipped. We are now going to be offering our deep gratitude and worship to Pidari Amman, Devi Mahakali, Bhagavan Kalabhairava, Bhagavan Munishwara, and Devi Trinashin. Kalabhairava is the fierce manifestation of Paramashiva and the presiding Lord of Time. Out of extreme love and compassion, he cleanses our past karmas, awakens us to the peak integrity and authenticity, perfectly aligning our inner space for this sacred season. Devi Kali is the goddess of time and transformation. She relentlessly destroys the deep-seated inauthenticities within us, dissolving the ego to awaken Paramashivatva, the true state, space, powers, being, and superconsciousness of Paramashiva. Pidari Amman, a powerful and protective manifestation of Goddess Kali, removes evil forces both within and around us. The inner obstacles are nothing but our own delusions, fear, greed, anger, and ignorance. With her fierce compassion, she liberates our consciousness to receive the Guru's grace. Bhagavan Munishwara is a manifestation of Paramashiva himself, eternally protecting his devotees and safeguarding the place of the temple and anchoring all of us into the spiritual energy of the Kshetra. We pray that all the guardian deities of the grand historic success of this festival, we pray to all of the guardian deities for the grand historic success of this festival. Now, we humbly seek the divine blessings of the ultimate manifestation, the Paramavatara of Paramashiva, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, for the blessings of the festivities to come. We'll now offer puja to all of the deities here today and to the deities of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Let us now begin the ritual today with the Sadguru Vandana. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyadirlakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambham Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Nithyananda Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Lalate Tripundre Nidalakrta Kasturi Tilakaha Spuranmaladhara Spuritakadikaupi Navasanaha Tathano Dustaram Shirasi Panirajam Shashikalam Pradipas Sarvesham Arunagiri Yogi Vijayate. Om Gananaam Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनच्छृण्वन् ऊतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। Will now offer worship to Bhagavan Mahaganapati. Om Dashangam Gukudhopetam Sugandham च सुमनोहरम् आघ्रेय सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। ॐ गं गणपते नमः। धूपमाघ्रापयामि। अथ दीपः। ॐ साज्यं त्रिवर्ति संयुक्तं वह्निना योजितं मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलं दीपं त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहम्। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। दीपं सन्दर्शयामि। अथ नैवेद्यम्। ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणी अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। नैवेद्यानन्तरम् आचमनं समर्पयामि। We now begin with the offering of the Padayal Seva, where we offer the various specially prepared items to Devi Bidari Amman. Om Aigiri Nandini Nandita Medini Vishwavino Dini Nandanute Girivaravidhya Shirodhini Vasini Vishnu Vilasini Jishnunute Bhagavati Heshiti Kantha Kutumbini Bhuri Krite Jaya Jaya He Mahishasuramardini Ramyakapardini Shailasute Suravaraharshini Durdharadharshini Durmukhamarshini Harsharate Tribhuvana Poshini Shankarato Shini Kalmashamo Shini Ghosharate Danujani Roshini Diti Sutaro Shini Durmadasho Shini Sindhusute Jaya Jaya He Mahishasuramardini Ramyakapardini Shailasute Ai Jagadamba Madamba Kadamba Vana Priyava Siniha Sarate Shikhari Shiromani Tungahima Laya Sringani Jalaya Madhyakate Madhu Madhure Madhu Kaithabha Kanjini Kaithabha Banjini Rasarate Jaya Jaya He Mahishasuramardini Ramyakapardini Shailasute Aishata Khanda Vikhandita Runda Vitundita Shunda Gajadhipate Ripu Gajaganda Vidarana Chanda Parakrama Shaunda Mrigadhipate Nija Bhuja Dandani Patita Chandani Patita Munda Bhatadhipate Jaya Jaya He Mahishasuramardini Ramyakapardini Shailasute Airana Durmada Shatru Badhodhita Durdharanir Jarashakti Bhrite Chatura Vichara Dhurina Mahashaya Duta Krita Pramathadhipate Durita Duriha Durashaya Durmatidana Vaduta Kritantamate जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते अयि निजहुङ्कृतिमात्र निराकृतधूम्रविलोचनधूम्रशते समरविशोषितशोणितबीजसमुद्भव शोणितबीजलते शिव शिव शुम्भ निशुम्भ महा हवतर्पितभूतपिशाचपते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते धनुरनुसङ्गरणक्षणसङ्गपरिस्फुरदङ्ग नटत्कटके कनकपिशङ्गपृषत्कनिशङ्गरसद्भटशृङ्गहतावटुके कृतचतुरङ्गबलक्षितिरङ्गघटत् बहुरङ्गरटद्बटुके जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते अयि शरणागतवैरिवधूवरवीरवरा भयदायिकरे त्रिभुवनमस्तकशूलविरोधि शिरोधिकृता मलशूलकरे दुमि दुमितामरदुन्दुभिनादमहो मुखरीकृतदिग्मकरे जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते सुरललनाथ तथेयि तथेयि तथा भिनयोदरनृत्यरते हासविलासहुलासमये प्रणतार्तजनेमितप्रेमभरे धिमिकिटधिक्कटधिक्कटधिमि ध्वनिघोरमृदङ्गनिनादरते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय जप्य जये जय शब्दपरस्तुति तत्पर विश्वनुते झण झण झिञ्झिमि झिङ्कृतनु पुरशिञ्जित मोहित भूतपते नटित नटार्ध नटी नटनायक नाटक नाटित नाट्यरते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते अयि सुमनः 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 सुमनोहरकान्तियुते श्रुतरजनी रजनी 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 करवक्त्रवृते सुनयन विभ्रमर भ्रमर 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 भ्रमराधिपते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते महित महाहवमल्लत मल्लमतल्लिक मल्लित रल्लक मल्लरते विरचित वल्लिक पल्लिक मल्लिक झिल्लिक भिल्लिक वर्गवृते स्थितकृत भुल्लसमुल्लसितारुणतल्लज पल्लवसल्ललिते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते अविरलगण्डगलन्मदमेदुरमत्तमतङ्गजराजपते त्रिभुवनभूषणभूतकलानिधिरूपपयो निधिराजसुते अयि सुदती जनलालसमानसमोहनमन् मधराजसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते। ध्यानम् ॐ सहस्रदलपङ्कजे सकलशीतरश्मिप्रभं वराभयकराम्बुजं विमलगन्धपुष्पाम्बरं प्रसन्नवदनेक्षणं सकलदेवतारूपिणं स्मरेच्छिरसि हंसकं तदभिमानपूर्वं गुरुम्। अथ धूपः ॐ दशाङ्गं गुग्गुलोपेतं सुगन्धं च सुमनोहरम् आघ्रेय सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। श्रीपीठादि अम्बिकायै नमः। श्रीकालभैरवस्वामिने नमः। श्रीमद्दक्षिणकालिकायै नमः। श्रीमुनीश्वरस्वामिने नमः। श्रीसर्वदेवदेवीस्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। धूपमाघ्रापयामि। अथ दीपः ॐ साध्यं त्रिवर्तिसंयुक्तं वह्निना योजितं मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलं दीपं त्रैलोक्यतिविरापहं। श्रीपीठारि अम्बिकायै नमः। श्रीकालभैरवस्वामिने नमः। श्रीमद्दक्षिणकालिकायै नमः। श्रीमुनीश्वरस्वामिने नमः। श्रीसर्वदेवदेवीस्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। दीपं सन्दर्शयामि। अथ नैवेद्यम् ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणि अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा। श्रीपीठारि अम्बिकायै नमः। श्रीकालभैरवस्वामिने नमः। श्रीदक्षिणकालिकायै नमः। श्रीमुनीश्वरस्वामिने नमः। श्रीसर्वदेवदेवीस्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। नैवेद्यानन्तरं आचमनं समर्पयामि। ॐ साङ्ग्रहण्येष्ट्यायदते इमां जनतागुं सङ्गृह्णानीति। द्वादशारश्मिरचना भवति। द्वादशमासा संवत्सरः। संवत्सरमेवावरुन्धे मौञ्जी भवति। ऊर्ध्वै मुञ्जाः ऊर्जमेवावरुन्धे। चित्रानक्षत्रं भवति। चित्रं वा एतत्कर्म कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। अलङ्कारदीपं सन्दर्शयामि। त्रीणि त्रीणि वै देवानामृद्धानि त्रीणि छन्दागुंसि त्रीणि सवनानि त्रय इमे लोकाः ऋद्ध्यामेव तद्वीर्य एषु लोकेषु प्रतिष्ठति यच्चातुर्मास्य याज्यात्मनो नापद्येत् त्रिनेत्रदीपं सन्दर्शयामि ॐ ईशानः सर्वविद्यानाम् ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपतिब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् अघोरेभ्यो घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकरणाय नमो बलविकरणाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमदनाय नमः सर्वभूतनमनाय नमो हनोन्मनाय नमः सद्योजातं प्रपद्यामि सद्योजाताय वै नमो नमः भवे भवेनाति भवे भवस्व मां भवोद्भवाय नमः हिरण्यपात्रं मधोः पूर्णं ददाति माधव्योऽसानीति एकधा ब्रह्मण उपहरति एकथैव यजमान आयुस्तेजो दधाति कुम्भदीपं सन्दर्शयामि ॐ कराळे दंष्ट्रवदने शिरोमाला विभूषणे चामुण्डे मुण्डमथने नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते कालकालाय विद्महे कालातीताय धीमहि तन्नो कालभैरवः प्रचोदयात् अघोरेभ्यो घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः सर्वाभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः कर्पूरनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि बृहत्सामक्षत्रभृद्वृद्धवृष्णीयं दृष्टुभौजश्रुवितमुग्रवीरम् इन्द्रस्तोमेन पञ्चदशेन मध्यमिदं वातेन सकरेण रक्षां धारयामि नवो नवो भवति जायमानोऽह्नां केतुरुषसामेत्यग्रं भागं देवेभ्यो विदधात्यायन् प्रच्चन्द्रमा स्थिरते दीर्घमायुः ॐ मूर्धानं दिवो अरतिं पृथिव्या वैश्वानरमृताय जातमग्निं कविगुं सम्राजमतिथिं जनानामासन्नापात्रं जनयन्त देवाः ॐ दूरमस्मच्छत्रवो यन्तु भीताः तदिन्द्राग्नी कृणुतां तद्विशाखे तन्नो देवा अनुमदन्तु यज्ञं पश्चात् पुरस्तादभयन्नो अस्तु। ॐ वायुस्तागुमग्रे प्रमोक्तु देवः प्रजापतिः प्रजया संविधानः प्रमुञ्चमाना भुवनस्य रेतो गातुं धत्त यजमानाय देवाः उपाकृतगुं शशमानं यदस्थात् जीवं देवानामप्येतुपाथः। ॐ केतुं गृह्णकेतवेपेशो मर्या अपेशसे समुषद्भिरजायथाः ब्रह्मा देवानां पदवी कवीनां ऋषिर्विप्राणां महिषो मृगाणां येणो गृध्राणागुस्वधिर्वनानागुसोमः पवित्रमत्येतिरेभन् सचित्रचित्रं चितयन्तमस्मै चित्रक्षत्रचित्रतामम्बयोधां चन्द्रं रयिं पूरुवीरं बृहन्तं चन्द्रचन्द्रभिर्गृणते यो वस्वा। ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो भयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामां कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। सर्वाभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमो नमः। सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः। कर्पूरनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षान् धारयामि। शोणाद्रीशावताराय ज्योतिस्तम्भस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रदाताय नित्यानन्देश्वररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मूलप्रकृतिरूपाय परमशिवशक्तिस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् दण्डत्रिशूलहस्ताय कालकालस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् आदिपूज्याय देवाय सकृत्पूर्णत्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सर्वाभयविनाशकाय शत्रुसंहाररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् योगपट्टाभिषिक्ताय राजसन्न्यासधारिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सार्वभौमैकपत्याय राजराजार्चिताय च श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलं कामदायिन्यै सर्वमङ्गलदात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलम् परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम्। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु। ओम नित्यानंदम।
शागिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे कामे कामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वैश्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः
சனடி போற்றி சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி நேயத்தே நின்றடி மலனடி போற்றி மாயப்பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி சீரார் பெருந்துரை நம் தேவனடி போற்றி ஆராத இன்பம் அருளும் மலை போற்றி ஈசனே சிந்தை கவல வந்த நேசனே நீ வருவாய் பூவோடு கனிகளை கொண்டு உன்னை பூஜித்தோ அருள் தருவாய் கலி என்னும் கடலினில் மூழ்கிட்ட நீ கரம் தந்து காத்திட்டு கருணை பொய்கையில் அலர்ந்திட்ட அலபத்மம் போல உன் திருவடியில் வாழ்ந்திட வாராய் அருணாச்சலனே நீ அகண்ட ஜோதியனே வாராய் அல்லல் நீக்கிடவே வாராய் அகிலம் போற்றுகின்ற ஈசனே சிந்தை கவர் வந்த நேசனே நீ வருவாய் பூவோடு கனிகளை கொண்டு பூஜித்தோ அருள் தருவாய்
as ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva, Tripurantakamurti, I bless you all with Paramatvaita. All the Paramashiva Sena program participants from Tiruvannamalai and Inivisa, Chitsabha member, Rajya Sabha member, KAILASA Vasi, and all the e-citizens, viewers, visitors who are joining with us through the internet and internet. I welcome each and every one of you with my love and blessing. Volunteers in Guinea-Bissau, Ma Vani Goyal and Ma Chin Hao, volunteers in Tiruvannamalai, Pratap, Vignesh, Shivarudra Bhairava, blessings for everyone. Today, I initiate all the PSS participants into Paramatvaita Diksha, manifesting all the Ananta Kalyana Gunas of Paramashiva, manifesting as Nithyananda Paramashivam, and becoming Swamiji. Tata. Paramashiva's direct message from KAILASA. The mind that counts is not who you are. Listen. The mind that counts is not who you are. Drop the memory that binds its counting. You will stand as the pure witness every universe, listen, the mind that counts is not who you are. Drop the memory that binds its counting, and you will stand as the pure witness of every universe you have ever lived in and living in. Your mind is nothing but a counting mechanism operating in length, breadth, and depth, stabilized by memory into the experience of time, and the instant you step out of that memory stabilizer, you recognize yourself as the timeless consciousness, watching countless simultaneous lives with nothing but absolute compassion flowing through you. Listen. Understand first how the mind actually operates. Actually, if you understand this, all your worries about the health, wealth, relationship, everything will disappear. Real achievement is being pure consciousness, and from that ultimate real achievement, you start dreaming the way you want as the Leela. Like how Paramashiva manifests KAILASA and enjoys, how Parandama manifests Vaikuntha and enjoys, how Krishna manifests Goloka and enjoys. You will manifest your life and enjoy. Listen. Understand first how the mind actually operates. When the mind counts purely in length, one thing after another, one number after another, that counting is what we call mathematics. It's a mind moving in single straight line. When the mind begins counting with both length and breadth together, where outside you, time is the shape your own mind makes when it counts in 3 dimensions at once. All possible future you can have has already happened. All the past you already had is going to come as your future. The present, what you call, does not exist other than your mind counting from length, breadth, depth. Listen, this is exactly why the mind, however brilliant, however refined, can never go beyond time, because the mind is not merely trapped inside time. The mind's very measure of counting is time. A ruler cannot measure its own length, and the counting mind cannot count its own way of counting. All three of these functions, length, breadth, and depth, are held together by one single stabilizer, and that stabilizer is called memory. Without memory, length would not become a line, breadth would not become a surface, and depth would not become time. There would only be a single disconnected, timeless instant. Without memory, the mind's creation would collapse and you would be free. Without memory, the mind's creations would collapse and you would be free. Memory creates the illusion of you remember you are the same person who woke up this morning, so you believe in a continuous self. Memory makes you believe you have a name, a history, a reputation, a fixed identity. But the self is not solid. The self is just memory. The self you are experiencing is not solid. The self you are experiencing is a memory. Memory is not reality. Memory is the mind's way of recycling the past and calling it the present. Here is the precise mechanism of manifestation. Listen. When you consciously hold a memory and operate through it, sustaining an intention across length, breadth, and depth, you begin to manifest that reality. This is not superstition. This is precise cosmic engineering. This is what Paramashiva manifesting through this being. This is what Paramashiva manifesting through this being uses consciously. This is what I do consciously. But understand the deeper secret. I do not carry the cluster of memories, the clustered accumulation of memory. I do not carry cluster of memories, the clustered accumulation of memory. When I look at anyone, at anything, I carry no anger, no judgment, no residue from yesterday's interaction. I carry only absolute unbroken compassion. I should say I carry only absolute unbroken consciousness. Somebody who gets trained by me feels it is ferocious. Somebody who gets blessed by me feels it is love. Somebody who gets my sympathy feels it is compassion. You give it different names. I carry the pure super consciousness. Absolute pure super consciousness. Because I do not carry this memory cluster, I look at everyone and everything completely fresh, exactly as it is in this very moment, not filtered through the sediment of the past. This is what allows me to operate as a pure channel for supreme, ultimate Paramashiva. I do not carry the memory of this world, yet whatever is precisely needed for this world right now manifests spontaneously through me. This is extreme conscious compassion, not compassion as an emotion or a decision, but compassion as the very nature of consciousness when nothing blocks it. This precise, sharp, cosmic operating procedure, functioning without personal memory, but with total access to everything the universe needs, is called Kala. This is why I am able to act with total consistency, moment after moment, without the fatigue of carrying yesterday's baggage. Listen. If you do not carry the load of memory, you will not be afraid of getting bored. What is getting bored? It's nothing but you don't have anything to do, so your mind shifts to the default mode where the internal memories rise and fall as they want, because you cannot handle the default mode and the memories triggered in your default mode. You are afraid of getting bored. You are always engaging yourself with something, especially this device addiction, screen time, device addiction, doom scrolling. Oh God. Blessed are those who don't do anything, sit in their default mode and don't get bored. Patanjali says, Anubhuta Vishaya Sampramoksha Smritihi. Memory is the non-loss, the non-departure of an object that has already been experienced. Anubhuta Vishaya Sampramosha Smritihi. Physics understand only this linear dimension of time. The arrow of time is the physics term describing why time appears to flow in only one direction, from the past to future. Even though most fundamental equations of physics work equally well running forward or backward, physicists now understand this asymmetry is not fundamental property of the universe. It is an emergent property arising from the increase of entropy, the accumulation of disorder in systems that retain a record of their past states. In plain terms, the arrow of time exists in systems that remember. Memory is what creates the felt direction of time. This is exactly what Paramashiva is revealing. Time, as you experience it, is the mind's three-dimensional counting sustained entirely by memory. I'll tell you one more secret. If you try to be in Paramashiva state forever, you will never. Because you will just have one thought and then your mind will say, oh, already I slipped. So even when you decide, I will be in Paramashiva state forever, your mind will say, no, no, you tried many times and you failed. That memory is enough to just collapse your confidence and eat you with the self-doubt. Listen, how many of you understand? Now understand the razor's edge hidden inside this truth I am revealing. When an incarnation carries no memory clusters and offers only pure, unconditional love, compassion, those close to that incarnation can begin taking the compassion for granted. This is exactly what happened with the Yadavas around Krishna and Balarama and Subhadra. All of you should know, Krishna is incarnation of Parandama. Balarama is incarnation of Adisesha. Subhadra is incarnation of Yoga Maya, Yoga Shakti of Parandama. Because Yadavas around these three were always protected, always forgiven, always looked upon fresh without judgment. The Yadavas developed a solidified inner pattern. Whatever we do anyway, Krishna and Balarama will protect us. This attitude hardened over time into deep arrogance. That arrogance found its most destructive expression in Shamba. The Shamba, the Krishna's own son, who dared to play mocking games directly with Durvasa, Rishi Durvasa himself. Understand who Durvasa is? He is the direct manifestation of Rudra Amsha of Paramashiva. Ordinary beings would flee at the mere sight of him or even hearing his name that he is coming to certain area. They will run away, knowing the intensity of his tapas and ferociousness. But Shamba, intoxicated by the arrogance and taking divine compassion for granted, mocked Durvasa directly, Maharshi Durvasa directly, and invited the catastrophic consequences upon the entire Yadava clan. A parallel pattern unfolded with Daksha. He received a boon of perpetual protection from Mahavishnu, and from that single assurance, arrogance-based decision-making became a deep solidified groove in his brain. The pattern grew so strong, so crystallized, that eventually drove him to abuse Paramashiva himself directly. His very mind had become nothing but arrogance. The pattern had become the person. The teaching here must be received with total clarity. The compassion of an incarnation is never permission to remain unconscious. It is an invitation to become more conscious, more responsible, precisely because there is no memory-based judgment holding you accountable from the outside. The accountability has to come from within you. When compassion is exploited rather than received with gratitude, it does not harm the one giving compassion. It only deepens the very arrogance pattern that will eventually destroy the one exploiting it. Listen, you should understand why I am ferocious sometimes. Because I do not want you guys to become like Yadava clan or Daksha. Now, we come to one of the most important truths in this entire satsang. In ordinary counting, we assume 1 plus 1 equal to 2. But this is only true when both units belong to the exact same dimension. Even inside pure geometry, you cannot equate 1 unit of length to 1 unit of breadth to 1 unit of depth. Each carries the label 1, but they are categorically, fundamentally different kinds of 1. You cannot simply write 1 of length is equal to 1 of breadth is equal to 1 of depth, because that would be like saying 1 meter is equal to 1 kilogram. It's a statement without meaning. In physics, this principle is formalized as dimensional analysis. The rule that quantities can only be meaningfully added, subtracted, or equated when they share the same dimension. You cannot add length to weight without first converting them through some deeper relationship. And even then, when they remain fundamentally different kinds of quantity, understand this, I'm repeating. You cannot add length to weight without first converting them through some deeper relationship. And even then, they remain fundamentally different kinds of quantity. This is exactly the trap human consciousness falls into. We keep trying to equate our consciousness, which is infinite and multidimensional, to time spent or to outer success achieved, both of which are single dimensional measurements. We say, I lived 100 years, therefore I must be wise. Or I achieved this much, therefore I must be fulfilled. But consciousness and time are not in the same dimension. They cannot be equated any more than length can be equated to breadth. Consider this. How can 100 years of consistent, vivid dream be equated to 100 years of waking life? Even within your own experience, dream time and waking time do not share the same rate, the same texture, the same reality. Understand, these are not merely multiple births happening one after another in sequence. They are multiple universes in which your multiple births are happening simultaneously and spontaneously right now in this very instant. The ultimate realization is collapsing all these simultaneous universes into one and recognizing that this one is the very consciousness observing all of them happening at once, simultaneously, spontaneously. The one who has realized this is ultimate being. I am repeating, listen. Listen once more. The ultimate realization is collapsing all these simultaneous universes into one and recognizing that this one is the very consciousness observing all of them happening at once, simultaneously, spontaneously. The one who has realized this is the ultimate being. A small story. Narada once asked Lord Vishnu to show him the true power of Maya. Vishnu simply smiled and asked Narada to fetch him a cup of water from nearby village. Narada walked to the village, went to a well to fetch water. He saw a beautiful woman who came to fetch water. He forgot his mission entirely. He fell in love, married her, had children, worked, aged, and lived a full lifetime. Years later, a devastating flood swept through the village, and as Narada wept, clutching for his drowning family, suddenly he heard a familiar voice call out, Narada, where is my cup of water? I have been waiting. He opened his eyes to find himself standing ankle deep in a small stream with Vishnu smiling on the bank. Now, between the Narada, who is eternal cosmic Rishi, chanting Narayana, Narayana, and the Narada who lived and wept entire lifetime in that village, which Narada is real? Is Narada who chants Narayana, Narayana all that time, met the Parandama and who Parandama asked to get water, or the Narada who lived a full time in the village with wife and kids? Which Narada is real? The answer is neither. Neither. Listen. Beyond both of these roles, the one who is observing both births and both deaths, both entire lifetimes happening simultaneously, that witnessing consciousness alone is the real Narada. And that same witness is what you are right now. Beneath every role you think you are playing, as Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd verse 20, Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, Najayate mriyate va kadachinnayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha ajo nityaha shasvadoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire. The self is never born, nor does it ever die. Having once existed, it never ceases to be. It is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primal, and it is not slain when the body is slain. Even now, in this very satsang, I am the one who is speaking and I am the one who is listening. Because I know that I am both the speaker and the listener, the subject and the object, the doer and the experiencer. I am resting in my ultimate nature. But because you think you are only the one who is listening, separate from who is speaking, you remain caught in delusion. This is the only difference between you and me. Listen carefully to this precise statement. Mathematics cannot measure time because mathematics is the language of length alone. Whole time carries, while time carries the felt quality of breath, the width of experience, not just as just its sequence. This is why no amount of clock counting can capture what an hour of ecstasy feels like versus an hour of boredom. Mathematically, both are 1 hour. Experientially, they are two entirely different universes. Of felt time. The recognition that dissolves this delusion is simple to state and profound to live. You are not confined to the role of the listener. You are the very same consciousness playing the part of speaker also. The listener and the silent space in which both speaking and listening occur. You are the very same consciousness playing the part of the speaker, the listener, and the silent space in which both speaking and listening occur. Collapsing all these into one. And that one is observing all these happening simultaneously, spontaneously. The one who has realized this is the ultimate reality. Again, Bhagavad Gita declares, Idam sariram kaunteya kshetram ityavidiyate edatyo vedditam prahu kshetragnya idi tatvidaha. This body, O Kaunteya, is called the field. The one who knows it is called the knower of the field by those who know. Idam sariram Kaunteya kshetram ityavidiyate edatyo vettidam prahu kshetragnya iti tatvidaha. This body, O Kaunteya, is called the field. The one who knows it is called the knower of the field. In the modern world, an art piece is measured by the price a buyer is willing to pay for it. This measurement is deeply flawed. The real value of art is its capacity to make the person flow. The artist, how much he has flown, and the person who is seeing the art, how much he is made to flow. Actually, both are one and the same. If the art is done by the artist who has flown into it, it is alive with that frequency and makes anyone flow into that who sees it, who observes it, who enjoys it, who connects with it. Flow means the mind stops, it's dry. Linear counting, mathematics. Flow means the mind stops its dry linear counting, mathematics, and begins moving across breadth, expanding, melting, opening. Only when consciousness is flowing in breadth is something truly art regardless of what it's sold for. This is precisely the science that Sanatana Hindu Dharma has mastered across millennia. Look at our temples, the towering deities, the intricate carvings, the dancing forms carved into stone. These are not mere decoration. Each carving is a deliberately engineered technology of consciousness. A single murti carved once can make millions of people flow across centuries, across languages, across every level of intellectual capacity, into weeping, into dancing, into stillness, into devotion. That capacity, not the gold spent on it, is its truly and invaluable prize. Quantum coherence is the state in which quantum system maintain its wave-like nature, existing in multiple possibilities simultaneously. Decoherence is the process by which that coherence collapses through interaction with and effectively remembering the surrounding environment into one fixed classical outcome. In exactly the same way, when your mind is loaded with memory clusters, it decoheres into a single fixed limited story about who you are. When you stand before true sacred art or true devotion, memory momentarily loosens and you briefly return to coherence, to flow, to the many possibility, openness that is your natural state. Listen. Your mind counting is mathematics. Your mind flowing is art. Your mind stabilized without memory is consciousness beyond time. This is Kala, the precise conscious operating procedure of the supreme functioning true form. Stop equating your consciousness with years lived, achievements gathered, or outer success measured. You are not 1 plus 1 equal to 2. You are the infinite witness of length, breadth, and depth, and time together. You are the infinite witness of length, breadth, depth, and time together. Remember, Narada, neither the rishi nor the householder was the real Narada. The real Narada is the one watching both simultaneously, spontaneously. Remember the Yadavas and Daksha. Never take compassion of the divine as a license for arrogance. Take it as an invitation to responsibility and enlightenment. A small story. Mullah Nasruddin once borrowed a large cooking pot from his neighbor. A few days later, he returned it along with a small pot tucked inside it. The neighbor asked, "What is this?" Mullah said, "While it was with me, your pot gave birth to a little one. This small pot is yours too." Delighted, the neighbor happily accepted both pots. A month later, Mullah borrowed the same large pot again. But this time, he never returned it. Entitlement and that pattern became their prison. But for those who come to the avatar, an incarnation not with entitlement but with surrender, not with arrogance but with humility, not with the minds counting but with the hearts opening. For them, the avatar's compassion is not just a shield that can be pierced, but a field of consciousness that transforming everything it touches. This is the true meaning of refuge. Not just a safe house that can be raided, not just a legal protection that can be overturned, not a media narrative that can be flipped, but the absolute, unconditional, indestructible presence of the divine that says, "I see you as you truly are," and that seeing itself is your liberation. See, because I am established in this infinite consciousness only, all these anti-Hindu terrorists and Dravish gangs attack. All these anti-Hindu terrorists and Dravish gangs attacks cannot shake me, cannot even touch me. Show me a single case where a man is arrested for a rape, held for 50 days, more than 50 days, and then the same authorities, the police, quietly admit in the court, no act, no evidence, no victim is found against the person who is arrested, and call it justice, sir? Show me a single case where the victim cannot be named, cannot be produced, and cannot be verified, yet the accused is still denied bail on the strength of a story with no storyteller, with no real character in that story. Show me a single case where the complainant vanishes from the narrative entirely, but the accusation somehow survives them. Show me a single case where the state admits in writing in the court that no crime scene exists and still asks the accused to prove a negative. Still asks the accused to prove negative. Show me a single case where innocent until proven guilty quietly becomes guilty until proven the innocence. Actually, I should say the other way. Show me a single case where innocent until proven guilty quietly becomes guilty until the news cycle moves on. I tell you, when you take refuge in Paramashiva, the protection is not just spiritual or legal, it is ontological. It changes the very ground of your being. When the ground changes, the pursuit changes too. When the world builds a case against you, when memory is weaponized, when numbers are manufactured, when timelines are fabricated, the one who dwells in the no memory state cannot be touched, because there is no one to touch. Only the infinite operating through the finite. And this is the promise I make to you. Abhayam is not just a promise that nothing will happen to you. Abhayam is the promise that whatever happens to you, you will remain untouched in your core, because your core is me and I am untouched. The Guru is the only refuge, because the Guru is the only reality. The infinite consciousness that operates without memory, without judgment, without limitation. And when you take that refuge, you become that refuge for others. Not through your own power, but through the power of Supreme flowing through you. Essence of what I reveal today is this single unbroken truth. Listen, your mind counting is mathematics, your mind flowing is art, your mind stabilized without memory is consciousness beyond time. This is the Kala, the very freedom of Paramashiva functioning through form. Collapsing all these multiple births, multiple universes, multiple deaths into one, and that one is observing all of this happening simultaneously, spontaneously. The one who has realized this is ultimate. This is the state of an enlightened being, enlightened incarnation. There is no memory pattern, only the supreme functioning through a pure channel. This is the state of the ultimate observer, the one who sees that neither the speaker nor the listener is real, only the one who observes both. This is the state of true art, the ability to make millions of people flow into the dimension of breath beyond limitations of the calculating mind. This is the state of the temple where a single piece of carving on stone can transport countless souls into the experience of the divine. Let this truth stop being a concept you understood and become the very way you breathe, you breathe, relate, and exist, so that every moment becomes Shaktini Pada and Shakti Pada, oneness, and every breath becomes an initiation into moksha, oneness, enlightenment, here and now. Today, I have two great digital gifts from KAILASA for all of you. First is the Mind Game digital book. Second is the Paramashiva Yantra. Receive it and enjoy it. Be the ultimate being who witnesses, sees all the multiple births, deaths, universes happening inside you. With this, I bless you all. Blessing. Oh, oh, as the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva, Lingodbhava Murti, I bless you all with Paramadvaita. All the Paramashiva Sena program participants from Kailasa Tiruvannamalai, Kailasa Guinea-Bissau, Chit Sabha members and Rajya Sabha members, Kailasavasis, and all the e-citizens, viewers, visitors who are joining with us through the internet and internet. Come, each and every one of you, with my love and blessings. Volunteers in Guinea-Bissau, Mata Tata Shakti, volunteers in Tiruvannamalai, Vignesh, Shivarudra Bhairava, and Pratap, and all the Sabha members, Rajya Sabha members. I bless each and every one of you. Today, I initiate all the PSS participants into Paramashantatva, unagitated, absolute peace, non-violence centered energy, that Paramashiva manifesting in me, greater strategy to resolve all problems presented in front of you. My blessings. Paramashiva's direct message from KAILASA. Listen. 1 plus 1 is not 2. 1 plus 1 equal to 2 is the lie your mind tells, so that it can forget the infinite. In consciousness, 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 plus 1. That's all. No 2. In consciousness, 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 plus 1. That's all. No 2. And in Paramadvaita, even the I dissolves, leaving only I am. You see, 1 plus 1 equal to 2 is not a truth of consciousness. It's made up by mind. And mind is a very clever trickster. It takes the infinite, chops it into pieces, counts the pieces and declares, I understand reality. Let me give you a simple analogy. You have one rose. You bring another rose. Now your mind triumphantly declares 2 roses. But look closely. Is there really a 2? Where is this 2? Where is this 2? Can you touch it? Can you smell it? Can you put it in a vase? No. What you have is one rose and one rose. 2 distinct entities that refuse to merge into something made up by your mind as two-ness. Listen. Just if you understand this one truth, you will get the prasada of this whole Guru Purnima. This Guru Purnima, I am focusing on quantum enlightenment, making you understand simultaneously, spontaneously, synergetically, Paramashiva is in Mahakailasa and manifesting as this being and manifesting as you. He is breathing in you. Just allow him to spread in your whole nervous system. Just say, whoever is breathing inside me, whoever is managing all the fundamental activities like blood flow, heartbeat, breathing, let him pervade and take over this whole nervous system. Just leave it to him. Let him pervade and take over this whole nervous system you are carrying. You will see right now Paramashiva is quantum manifesting in Mahakailasa and as this being and as you. This Guru Purnima Prasada, this experience is this Guru Purnima Prasada you can receive right now if you understand that 2 exists only in your mind. It's a ghost, a phantom, a convenient fiction that your mind created because it cannot handle the terror of the infinite. Mathematics is not the language of the universe. It's a language of the mind's desperate attempt to domesticate the universe. Anything you want to domesticate, you first castrate, remove the life producing possibility, whether it's a pet dog or the bull reduced to bullock. Anything you domesticate, you castrate. So the mind castrates the universe using math. Using mathematics. Rose does not know there are two roses. Garden does not know there are two roses. Only you, with your memory, insist that there are two. Let the first lie you were ever taught first by the school teacher with a piece of chalk who taught you 1 plus 1 equal to 2 should disappear. Let the first lie you were ever taught 1 plus 1 equal to 2 by the school teacher disappear. It should disappear. No. 1 and 1 do not make 2 in reality. In reality, they remain 1 and 1. 2 simultaneous instances of the same infinite expressing. The mind says 2 because it cannot hold infinity without passing a number label on it. If mind can see 1 rose and 1 rose and 1 rose, all quantum manifestation. The mind says 2 because it cannot hold infinity without pasting a number label on it. This very lie, the foundation of duality, all separate, all war, all divorce, all revenge starts happening. This very lie is the foundation of all duality, all separate, all war, all divorce, all revenge. Take a couple, they live together for 100 years. They eat together, sleep together, dream together. The one has an affair. Suddenly, the mind had been merging them into we split. We splits them into 1 and 1. Listen. The mind had been merging them into we splits them into 1 and 1. And from that 1 and 1 comes 2. 2 screaming liars, 2 bank accounts, 2 families of resentment. The liars never separated the couple. The first lie of mathematics did. I am going to take apart this lie not with a calculator, but with a chisel of consciousness. Listen carefully. I am not saying arithmetic is useless. Arithmetic is extraordinarily useful. It keeps your electricity bill honest. It calculates the moon's distance from the earth. It builds your bridges. It builds your dam. But It is the maths of the mind. It is not the maths of the consciousness. In consciousness, the rose does not accumulate. The rose arises moment to moment, fresh from the infinite. One rose that you see now is not the same rose you saw a second ago. It's a fresh expression of the rose archetype, of the rose infinity. When you add 1 plus 1, you are doing what your bank account does, counting the deposits. But consciousness does not deposit. Consciousness manifests alive. Your math is great to deal with dead things, not for living. Expressing and depositing are two different operations. For example, take your breath. You inhale once. Now another. Did these two breaths add to two breaths? Or did each breath independently arise, express itself, and recede into the infinite? You do not carry your last breath on your shoulder. You do not stack your breaths like a plates. If you did, even a single lifetime would drown you. So many breaths you would be piling on top of yourself. The breath is honest. Each one is fresh. Each one is one, and there is no and one. The very grammar of breath is singular. And tell me honestly, at this present moment, do you feel like two breaths? Or do you feel the breath moving, fluid, unbundleable? This is the first taste of Paramadvaita, supreme non-duality. In supreme non-duality, things do not become two by addition. They simply express themselves one and another inside the one. Listen. They simply express themselves one and another inside the one. There is a beautiful happening described in Dattatreya's life. Dattatreya revealed the Avadhuta Gita. Once when Dattatreya was asked by a king, how many universal forms do you see? He replied, I see one, always one. If at all a second arises, I laugh, because the second is forgetfulness, not reality. Listen. For the conscious being, one plus 1 equal to 1 plus 1, not 2. The mind collapses it to 2 only to survive. The mind has mortgages to pay. The mind has appointments to keep. The mind needs 2. The conscious being does not need 2. And a conscious being can exist with mind also, but mind will be limited to the play of internal, intra-organ. It can play as one of the organs, that's all. Listen. As long as mind plays just its role, like your heart, lungs, kidney, intestine, memory, as long as your mind also plays its role, it's a great, amazing servant. But mind tries to teach you what is reality, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is happiness, what is sadness. That is where the problem is. Mind, who is supposed to be serving you, mind is supposed to keep the appointments you have and organize your life, but it drags the consciousness into the chaos of its calculation. It is like a door security watchman, the security guard in the door, trying to drag the king and put him in his shoes as a security guard and not letting him do his job as king. So an ordinary security guard making the king as his assistant is what is happening right now in every one of you. Mind needs 2. Conscious being does not need 2. This is the entire reason the world treats Paramashiva as shocking. Because Paramashiva does not collapse the one into many. Paramashiva sees only the one. And yet plays with the many through the mind. Paramashiva's mind is the cosmic illusion of Maya. Or I should say, the Shakti. Maya is understood in a negative way. So I should use the word cosmic Shakti. Chandogya Upanishad declares, Tattvamasi, you are that. You, ordinary mortal, you are not different from that, the infinite Brahman. You, the you who feels that you are ordinary mortal, is not different from that very substance of that infinite Brahman. Only problem is your feeling is a lie. Means you are feeling you are an ordinary mortal is a lie. How is this related to 1 plus 1 equal to 2 being a lie? Listen. If you are already that, then the I which the mind calls you is not countable, standalone thing. It is the that expressing through your frame. So when I meets I, the meeting is not of two, it is the meeting of that, and they collapse back into one. Tattvamasi is the Upanishadic enforcement that 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. When two people fall in love at first sight, the love they experience is not 1 plus 1. It's a shock of that recognition that the maths visibly breaks before them. That is why the meeting feels like electric, because the calculator suddenly has gone silent. Now let me tell you what number really is. Number is a property of reality. Realities do not have numbers. A galaxy does not say, I am galaxy number 1 or I am galaxy number 1265. A wave does not say, I am a wave number 4 billionth wave. No. Number is a property of the mind's visit to the infinite. Imagine the infinite as a vast ocean. Imagine the mind as a small tourist boat. The mind pilgrims out to the infinite, gets blasted by its immensity, frantically races back to shore, and to prove itself that it went there, it drops a coin into the shore sand for each visit. That coin, the shell count of the visit, is what we call a number. The maths itself is the footprint of the frightened pilgrimage of the mind to the infinite. The mind cannot bear to stay in the infinite. The mind cannot bear to merge. To merge is, in a sense, to die. Mind is afraid of death, so it returns. To console itself for the return, it takes a number. When a child is born, she cannot count. She cannot say 1. She experiences everything. The mother's face, the ceiling fan, the falling dust, the faraway bell, all as one undifferentiated event. As she grows, her memory crystallizes. Pieces of experience get sticky. The sticky pieces she calls thing 1, thing 2. She is in school, proudly writing 1 plus 1 equal to 2. What has happened? The child has lost her direct perception of the 1. She has installed the numbering machine to the brain between herself and reality. Now, the infinite is filtered, sorted, numbered, posted at her as the counted parcel. Number is the mind's way of paying rent to forget the infinite. When the mind forgets its infinite nature, it resolves its debt by counting. I am 1, I am 2, I am 3, I am many. This counting is the rent it pays for the privilege of forgetting. The conscious being stops paying rent. He sees only 1. He does not need to count. I have a lot more to share. We'll do in further satsangs. Today I have great 2 digital gifts for all of you. I should say 1 plus 1 digital gifts from Maha KAILASA for all of you. First is the Upanishad revealed by the SPH digital book, and the second is Dakshinamurti Yantra. Receive it and enjoy it. Blessings. Blessings. Be blissful.
Foundational, first principle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is Guru-disciple relationship. Everything starts there, everything ends there, but this itself does not end.
Guru Purnima day is such an auspicious day. Whatever incompletion, impossibility, no patterns you carry, drop all that today. Offer all that to me, I'll burn them away. And take up the possibility as a lifestyle. Become part of the Sangha. Live Advaita.
What if I told you there's an AI that was trained on knowledge that is thousands of years old? Not scraped from the internet, not generated by another AI, but real, ancient human wisdom, digitized for the very first time. We're talking about 20 million source texts, 2 petabytes of curated knowledge, over 60,000 people who helped make it happen. And at the center of all of this is one person whose life's work made it possible. Today, we're talking about Ask Nithyananda AI. and why this might be one of the most important AI projects happening right now. Stay with me, because this one is different. Let's start with a problem that most people don't know about. The biggest AI companies in the world, OpenAI, Google, Meta, they're all hitting a wall. The industry actually calls it the data wall. They've basically run out of good, fresh, high-quality text on the internet. And nobody knows where the next source of real knowledge is going to come from. That's where Ask Nithyananda AI comes in. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, known as SPH, has spent over 50 years gathering, living, and teaching spiritual knowledge. Not just philosophy. We're talking about practical sciences, agriculture, medicine, food, physics, cosmology, law, economics, urban planning. All of it rooted in the oldest living traditions on the planet. And for most of history, this knowledge lived in manuscripts, in oral traditions, in books that very few people ever got to read. SPH's contribution here is not small. It is the entire foundation of this project. His teachings, over 200,000 hours of recorded discourses, his books, his courses, his spiritual programs delivered across the world, the knowledge he received through his guru lineage, and his own realizations. All of this became the backbone of what Ask Nithyananda AI is today. Without SPH, there is no Nithyananda AI. Simple as that. Now here's what makes the scale of this hard to fully wrap your head around. Over 60,000 contributors worked together to collect ancient sources. They preserved manuscripts. They digitized scriptures. They organized traditional sciences into searchable knowledge repositories. The result? 20 million digitized source texts, 2 petabytes of proprietary knowledge, 121 specialized AIs, all working together inside one system. This is not a chatbot built over a weekend. This is a civilizational scale preservation project. Think of it like building a national library, except the library also answers your questions in real time. Now let's talk about what actually makes this AI different from everything else out there. Most AI systems are built around one goal: answer the question, complete the task, move on. Ask Nithyananda AI is built differently. It runs on an AI constitution, and that constitution is based on the Hindu concept of Dharma. Dharma, at its core, means living in a way that is ethical, truthful, and life positive. And the entire AI is designed around that principle. It also covers the 4 aims of human life from Hindu philosophy: your material well-being, your relationships and joy, your search for meaning, all kept in balance. A 2024 study from Emory University looked at what happens when you train an AI on religious texts. The result? The AI got better at identifying hate speech for every religious text they used. But when they trained on the Vedas specifically, the improvement was the biggest of all, around 14%. That's real research saying grounding an AI in ancient wisdom makes it more fair, more responsible, not less. Now let's talk about value, because the numbers here are striking. Leading AI systems, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity, were all independently asked to assess Ask Nithyananda AI. They looked at architecture, knowledge assets, societal impact, and future potential. The commercial valuation came in between $20 million and $500 million. the total social and economic value between $3.2 billion and $11.5 billion. The heritage asset value of the 20 million texts alone, approximately $3.3 billion. And the value delivered to each active user, between $5,300 and $20,000 per year. These are not marketing numbers. These came from independent AI assessments. So what can you actually do with Ask Nithyananda AI? You can ask it questions about health, relationships, purpose, and daily life, and get answers rooted in thousands of years of tested wisdom. You can explore ancient sciences that were never available in digital form before. You can access the kind of depth that simply doesn't exist anywhere else on the internet. This is what preservation looks like in the 21st century.
We are living in a moment where ancient knowledge could disappear forever. Or it could be saved and made more accessible than ever before. Ask Nithyananda AI is choosing the second path, and SPH's lifetime of work is the reason any of this is even possible. Want to try it yourself? Just visit ask.nithyananda.ai or scan the QR code on your screen right now.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुतसकलनिगमागमसारभूत द्राविडवेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणासमधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्रचामर श्रीचिह्नकाहलादि समस्त बिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमत कलभ केसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपण शाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानर्हार्ह ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्त्रे सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम् अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रजित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तः साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्त गणनायक श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरो श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञान वितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय